All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down something pretty wild, a parabolic breakout in the stock market. We're going to play detective here and figure out when a stock's explosive move is a real rocket launch or just a bubble that's about to pop. So, check this out. On January 17th, a stock called ImmunityBio, ticker IBRX, just exploded. We're talking a jump of nearly 40% in one single day. But, it wasn't just a big price move. Something else was going on, a really critical piece of evidence.
And here it is. The stock didn't just go up in price. It traded at over 21 times its normal daily volume. 21 times. That incredible surge of interest, that's our first major clue that something really big is happening here.
Okay, so what in the world is going on? We're going to put on our detective hats, our technical detective hats, and just dig into the clues left behind in the data. We want to understand how a stock can possibly make a move this dramatic. So this one day, this one single leap was so powerful that it shoved the stock way up into the top tier of its entire 52-week trading range. I mean, think about that. This wasn't just a good day. No, this was a complete and total change in the stock's whole personality. All right, so our investigation really kicks off with the first big question. Is this just some random one-day fluke, or are we actually watching the beginning of a powerful new trend? The technicals? Well, they give us the answer. First up, let's look at moving averages. The easiest way to think about them is like a stock's normal cruising speed, right? They help smooth out all the daily noise and show us what the real underlying trend is doing. Okay, now look at this. Just look at the sheer distance between the current price and its old cruising speeds. The stock isn't just speeding a little bit, it has absolutely blasted past its long-term and even its medium-term averages. That's not just a trend, that's a violent breakout. And this right here, this confirms it's not a fluke. There's another tool we can use, the ADX indicator, and it's designed specifically to measure the strength of a trend. So by crossing this key threshold of 25, it's basically screaming at us that yes, this is a powerful and very real upward movement. Okay, so we've established a strong trend. That's clue number one. Now our next clue helps us understand the motive behind it, the raw, incredible force of the buying pressure. Hey, remember that 21x volume we talked about? Well, this is what it looks like in raw numbers. We're talking 182 million shares. That is not just casual interest. No way. That's a roar from the crowd. It's like going from the dead quiet of a library to the front row of a rock concert in an instant. So how do we actually measure this frenzy? Well, to quantify it, we use a tool called the Money Flow Index, or MFI for short. It's pretty cool. It combines both price and volume to give us one single number that measures just how intense the buying is. And wow, this chart really shows just how extreme the situation is. The MFI for IBRX is almost 90. It's blasting way past that 80 level, which already signals strong buying pressure. The amount of money flowing into this stock it's just immense. But here's the twist in our story. This is where it gets really interesting. While all the clues so far are pointing to this incredible strength, the very same data is also flashing some bright red warning signals. It's screaming, overheating. And this is a really key piece of evidence. So, Bollinger Bands, they create a kind of channel where a stock's price normally hangs out, maybe 95% of the time. For the price to be this far outside the top band, that's a statistically rare event. It's like a rubber band being stretched to its absolute limit. You just know it can't stay that disconnected from its anchor for very long. All right, next step is the Relative Strength Index, the RSI. Think of it like the tachometer in your car, the RPM gauge. It measures the speed of price changes to tell us if a stock is overbought or oversold. And at over 83, that needle is buried deep in the red zone. This is signaling an extreme overbought condition. So yeah, it confirms the trend's power is absolutely immense, but it's also telling us the risk of burning out is just as high. And if you thought that was intense, our final indicator really drives the point home. The stock RSI, now this is an indicator that measures the acceleration of momentum, has hit 100. 100. That is its absolute maximum reading. It's not just that the car is going fast anymore, the accelerator is literally pushed all the way to the floor, the engine is at full throttle.
Okay, so we've examined all the evidence, we've looked at the trend, we've looked at the buying frenzy, and we've seen all the overheating signals. Now, it's time to put it all together and deliver the final verdict.
This whole phenomenon, it actually has a name.
a parabolic breakout. And it's defined by these two totally conflicting traits. On one hand, you've got this explosive, undeniable power, and on the other, an inherent, almost statistical unsustainability. And this slide, it just perfectly summarizes the central conflict of our whole story. You've got two sides. On one side, the bull case, it's overwhelmingly positive. Massive volume, crazy momentum. But on the other side, the bear case, it's all about extreme risk, with signals suggesting a sharp correction is not just possible, but highly probable.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's really one of extreme caution. I mean, sure, the trend is ferociously upward, but chasing a stock after it has already gone vertical like this is incredibly risky. This is not a beginner's game at all. It's a high-stakes environment, really for experienced traders only.
And all of this leaves us with the ultimate question, one you should ask yourself whenever you see a chart just go vertical like this. The data clearly shows the incredible power of the launch, but it also screams a warning about the fragility of the bubble. And that right there, that's the key to understanding a parabolic breakout.